Hello, guys. Welcome to another exciting episode. I'm so glad you're here. We've got some great conversations lined up today that you won't want to miss. So sit back, relax, and let's jump right in. This is Emma, and you're tuned in to Daily Talk in English.
Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Ben, and I'm super excited about today's topic. If you've ever struggled with getting your day organized and maximizing your productivity, you're definitely in the right place.
For real. I mean, we all have those days where we are running around feeling like we've done a ton, but when we look back, we're like, wait, did I actually accomplish anything? And that's something I've definitely struggled with, no lie.
Oh, totally. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm busy all day long, but I'm not getting the important stuff done. It's such a vibe killer, right?
Exactly. So today we're diving into how to organize your day for more productivity. We'll talk about some simple strategies, ways to avoid distractions, and how to get the most out of your day. And trust me, this isn't about being super rigid or turning into a robot. It's all about finding balance and making sure you're doing what matters most.
Right. I love that you said that because some people think productivity means working nonstop, but that's not it. You need to know when to step back and recharge, otherwise you're just running on empty. So let's get into it. Emma, what's the first thing you do when you wake up to get your day started on the right foot?
So for me, the first thing is a solid morning routine. And when I say solid, I don't mean anything fancy or extreme. It's just about getting my mind and body in the right headspace for the day. I usually start with some water, gotta hydrate right away, and then I do a quick 5-minute stretch.
I'm all about that, but I got to admit, I'm not always great at getting up and stretching. I tend to roll out of bed and dive straight into my phone, which, not the best start, huh?
I get it. It's so easy to grab your phone and start scrolling, but it can set the tone for your whole day. If you jump straight into email or social media, you're letting all that external stuff take control before you've even gotten a chance to settle in.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. Sometimes I'll spend like 30 minutes scrolling, and before I know it, I'm late to start working. It's such a trap.
Exactly. And it's not just the time you lose, it's the mental clutter. You start the day already overwhelmed. So, one thing I've started doing is avoiding screens for the first 30 minutes. I just focus on a small routine: water, stretch, maybe a few minutes of meditation. That way, I feel grounded before the chaos of the day hits.
I love that idea. I might need to try it. So what's next for you? Once you've got your morning routine down, how do you plan the rest of your day?
So, after my morning routine, I try to focus on setting clear intentions for the day. I make a list of 3 main things I absolutely want to get done. Not 10 things, just 3. It's all about keeping it simple and realistic. If I finish those, anything extra is just a bonus.
That's so smart. I've been guilty of making these mile-long to-do lists, and then halfway through the day, I'm like, I don't know where to even start. It's like you're overwhelmed before you've even gotten into it.
Exactly. And the worst part is when you don't finish everything on your list, you feel bad about it. But when you focus on just a few key things, it feels way more manageable and less stressful.
Right, I can already tell I need to scale back my lists. So once you have your 3 things for the day, how do you actually stay on track?
This is where time blocking comes in from me. I set aside specific chunks of time to focus on one task at a time. I try to eliminate distractions during those blocks. So, no checking my phone, no emails popping up, just full on focus for however long I've set.
Ooh, that sounds solid. I've heard of time blocking, but never really tried it. Do you use a specific app for it or just like a paper planner?
I actually do both. I love my paper planner because it feels more personal, but I also use Google Calendar to block off time for certain tasks. I try to make it fun too, like if I finish a block, I get a little reward, maybe a coffee or a quick walk.
I like that. So it's not just about working harder, it's about making it enjoyable and giving yourself some breaks.
Totally. The trick is to avoid burnout. You can't be productive if you're running on empty all the time. Breaks are crucial.
All right, so we've talked about starting the day right with morning routines, keeping things simple with a to-do list, and how time blocking is a game changer. But honestly, sometimes the hardest part for me is sticking to that schedule when life just throws stuff at you, you know?
Oh, for real. Life is always going to throw those curveballs. And honestly, that's why you have to be flexible. You can have the best plan in the world, but sometimes stuff happens. Meetings run late, kids need your attention, or maybe you just need to take a mental break.
Right. I feel like I need to be more chill about it instead of stressing when something unexpected happens. Sometimes I get so caught up in trying to follow my plan perfectly that it just ruins my day when things go off course.
Yeah, it's all about being kind to yourself. If something doesn't go as planned, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. I try to remind myself that flexibility is key. If something unexpected comes up, I just adjust and move on. It's a part of life, and we can't control everything.
That's definitely a mindset I need to adopt. But here's a question for you, Emma. How do you handle those times when you just don't feel motivated? Like when you're sitting there staring at your to-do list and you just can't bring yourself to do it.
Oh, man, I've been there. It's so tough. So, when I hit a motivation wall, I break things down even more. Instead of looking at the whole task, I just focus on the first step. Like if I have a big report to write, I just tell myself, all right, just open the document and write the title. That's it. Once I've done that, I usually feel a little more in the zone and can keep going.
That's a great approach. It's like the whole just get started trick, right? Because once you get that ball rolling, it's easier to keep going.
Exactly. And I think the key is not to put so much pressure on yourself. Like if you only manage to write a few paragraphs or make a couple of phone calls, that's still progress. Celebrate the small wins.
I'm totally taking that advice. No more thinking I need to do everything in one go. Just small steps. So, what about distractions? I know we're all guilty of getting sidetracked by social media or random apps. How do you deal with that?
Oh, the distractions are real, right? For me, the biggest thing is setting boundaries. I'll use apps like Focus or Forest to keep me off my phone while I'm working. And I set clear boundaries with myself, like I'm going to work for 45 minutes straight, and then I'll take a 15-minute break.
I've heard of those apps. Do they actually help, though? I feel like I just end up checking my phone anyway, even with them on.
I totally get it. It's hard, but honestly, they've helped me. They track how long you stay focused, and it's kind of rewarding when you see your progress. But I also try to turn off notifications or put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode. That way, I'm not constantly getting pinged with distractions.
I like that. So it's really about being proactive, right? Setting up boundaries and making it harder for yourself to get distracted.
Exactly. And sometimes it's about creating an environment that supports focus. Like I found that if I clean my workspace and set it up for work, I'm way more likely to focus. It's like you're mentally preparing yourself for productivity.
That makes sense. If your space is cluttered, it's hard to feel organized. So what's your workspace like? Do you have a specific setup that helps you stay productive?
Yeah, I like to keep things minimal. I have my desk, a comfy chair, and just the essentials, no distractions. I also like to have some plants around because they make the space feel fresh and calm. But it's all about keeping it simple. No unnecessary stuff to get in the way.
That sounds nice. I might need to do a little spring cleaning on my desk. It gets so messy sometimes that I don't even want to sit there.
It happens to the best of us. But seriously, a clean space can do wonders for your mindset. It's like giving yourself a fresh start every time you sit down to work.
I can see that. All right, so now that we've got all these tips for staying focused and productive, how do you wind down after a productive day?
Ooh, winding down is key. For me, I make sure to set an end to my workday. I don't check emails after a certain time, and I make time for myself. Whether it's a walk, reading, or catching up with a show, I try to relax and let my brain recharge.
That's huge. I think a lot of people feel like they need to be working all the time, but rest is just as important as productivity.
Exactly. Rest is where the magic happens. You need it to take going strong, so don't skip out on it.
Okay, so now that we've tackled how to stay productive during the day, let's talk about the long term. How do you make sure that your productivity sticks and isn't just a one-off thing?
That's a great question. For me, it's all about consistency. I've learned that the key to productivity isn't about doing a crazy amount of work one day and then crashing the next. It's about forming habits that you stick with over time.
Ah, I love that. So it's about building habits that become automatic, right? Not just about cramming a ton of stuff into one day.
Exactly. If you can get into the habit of doing a few productive things every day, even if it's just small steps, it builds momentum. And over time, that consistency becomes second nature. But if you're always trying to overdo it, you burn out.
Yeah, it's like when you're at the gym. You don't go for hours every day and expect to see results right away. You do a little bit each day, and eventually you see the progress. It's the same with productivity.
Exactly. And I also think it's important to track your progress. For example, I love using a habit tracker. I can see where I'm doing well and where I might need to improve. It's a great way to keep myself accountable and celebrate the wins, no matter how small.
That's actually a great tip. I've never really used a habit tracker, but I've heard a lot about it. How do you actually use it? Do you write it down or do you have an app for it?
I do both, actually. I love having a physical habit tracker where I can check off each day I've done something. But there are also apps that work really well, like Habitica or Streaks. They make it fun by turning it into a game, so you get rewards when you complete tasks. It makes it a little less boring.
That sounds cool. I think I'd like that more than just writing stuff down. Getting rewards for completing tasks sounds way more fun.
It really is. And it helps keep you motivated when you can see your streaks and progress. Plus, it makes you feel like you're building something, you know?
For sure. So, let's talk about something else that's been on my mind. Productivity versus busyness. Sometimes I feel like I'm just running around all day, but when I look back, I haven't really accomplished what I set out to do. How do you make sure you're actually being productive and not just busy?
That's a huge one. I think the biggest thing is being intentional with your time. Instead of just filling your day with tasks for the sake of tasks, you need to ask yourself, is this really moving me forward? If it's not, maybe it's not worth your time. Sometimes it's better to do fewer things, but do them really well.
Right, like don't just cross things off the list to feel accomplished. Focus on what really matters.
Exactly. It's all about working smarter, not harder. I try to ask myself each morning, what's the one thing I need to get done today that will make the biggest impact? That helps me focus on the important stuff.
I love that. I think that's been my problem. I'm always trying to do everything and then nothing feels like it really moves the needle. Focusing on the one thing makes so much sense.
Yeah, and I also try to minimize distractions during those big tasks. It's easy to get caught up in all the little things, but if you really want to make progress, you have to give your full attention to what you're doing. No multitasking.
Multitasking. I'm definitely guilty of that. I'll have 3 tabs open, checking email while working, and then wonder why I'm not getting anything done.
Yeah, I've been there too. But seriously, when you focus on one thing at a time, you're way more efficient. Your brain just works better that way.
I've heard that before. It's like your brain isn't designed to switch between tasks constantly. It takes time to refocus each time, and that's what drains your energy.
Exactly. And that's why it's important to time block and give yourself permission to only focus on one thing at a time. You can't be productive if you're always bouncing between tasks.
That's solid advice. Okay, I think we're starting to really nail this down. But here's a final question. What do you do when you're just not feeling it? Like when you're super low energy and nothing feels right? How do you push through?
Great question. Sometimes when I'm really feeling low energy, I remind myself that even small steps count. I don't have to have a perfect day. I just have to show up. Maybe I don't do my whole list, but I'll focus on 1 or 2 things. And honestly, getting started is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, you usually start to feel better.
I think that's something I struggle with. If I'm not feeling 100%, I tend to shut down and do nothing. But taking those small steps could really make a difference.
Exactly. And hey, if it's one of those days where nothing is working, it's okay to take a break. Rest is just as important as work, so don't feel bad about it. Tomorrow is a new day.
All right, we've covered a lot today, from setting up a productive morning routine to tackling distractions and building habits that stick. But I think the biggest takeaway is that productivity is all about consistency, balance, and taking care of yourself along the way, right?
Exactly. It's about doing the things that matter and making them a part of your everyday life. You don't need to be perfect, but the small, consistent steps make a huge difference over time. Productivity isn't just about getting more done, it's about getting the right things done without burning out. And remember, if things don't go perfectly, that's okay too.
Yeah, I love that perspective. It's all about progress, not perfection. So Emma, do you have any final tips for our listeners?
My final tip is don't underestimate the power of rest and recovery. You can't work nonstop and expect to be productive. Schedule time to relax, recharge, and give yourself credit for the small wins. Your brain and body need that time to refuel so you can keep going strong. And if you feel overwhelmed, just take a step back, breathe, and remind yourself that tomorrow is a new chance to crush it.
That's a solid tip. Honestly, I think a lot of people forget how important rest is. We get so caught up in the hustle that we forget to take care of ourselves. So remember to give yourself grace and take care of your mind and body.
For sure. And on that note, we hope today's episode helped you find some new ways to organize your day and make your routines work for you. If you've got any tips or struggles of your own, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And hey, if you liked today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. We've got plenty more to talk about, and we're excited to keep sharing this journey with you.
And while you're at it, drop a comment and let us know how you stay productive. What's your go-to productivity hack? We're all about sharing ideas and learning from each other. Plus, your feedback really helps us improve.
All right, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Talk in English. We'll see you next time. Keep it productive and stay awesome.
Take care, guys. See you soon.